Hey everybody, how's it going? John Whitford here. If you've ever tried to sell something online and you have not exactly succeeded, this video is for you. I want to give you the 7 most common sales page mistakes that I make and see other people making, as well as give you 3 very easy plug and play solutions to those problems. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, my wife and I left our corporate careers a long time ago. It's been about 5-6 years at this point for me and longer for her. And we've launched hundreds of sales pages. We've launched many different offers, and we ultimately help people build an automated, freedom-focused business online. And we've learned all these lessons the hard way. So after doing multiple millions of dollars in online sales, we decided to put together some of the sales page mistakes that we see all the time and share those with you here today. All right, so let's go straight into it with number 1 is starting from scratch every single time. I think we as entrepreneurs are hardwired to hate solving the same problem over again. Like, we just want to keep moving on and find new shiny objects and new problems, but stop it. It's not helpful for you. Once you find a formula that works for your audience and for you, and maybe a template that helps you do that, just keep rinsing and repeating. It's maybe a bit more boring that way, but hey, guess what? You get to help on more value added tasks, like actually doing a good job with the deliverable, whether you're doing a service, a digital product, a printable, a course. If you find the method that works for your audience, just keep using it. Mistake number 2 is simply not following a guide. I like to cook a little bit. I'm not very good at it because I keep going in and reading the recipe book and being like, nah, let's just go ahead and do our own thing. And then everything tastes terrible, like I cooked it. So instead of that, what is a smarter thing to do is find a guide, a process, a strategy of, here's where you put in the pain, the agitation. There's videos I'll link down below where we talk a bit more about those types of structures of sales pages, but find something that is a repeatable process that takes your users on a journey. It includes the right elements at the right times. And again, keep using it. Number 3 is focusing on the content, not on the benefits. Or said another way, focusing on the features and how cool you are as like a creator or the person selling, and not focusing on the benefit or the future that your customer is going to have post-purchase and once they've achieved the goals you have for them. What you could do instead, which I'd highly recommend, is focus on what their life is going to be like once they have taken action with whatever it is that you're offering. If you are selling a dog grooming business in a box, like you love dog grooming, you want to help people set up their dog grooming services, here's everything they need. Instead of saying that it has 400,000 lessons and it's going to take them 47 years to complete and it's got all these cool things and it's got this many hours of video and every day, focus instead on, okay, assume all that's going to be taken care of. What is going to happen next? Oh, by the way, the uncertainty of when to call back your clients for grooming appointments, how to set up a subscription model for your grooming. You're going to have that. You're going to have customers that know who you are. You've got social proof on the internet. These are all parts of the future that your customers want. How they get it, cover it a little bit. Like, you don't want to, they want to know what they're buying, but they don't need all the nitty-gritty details. Those are not what's going to convert them. What's going to convert them is what their life is going to be like and how their business is going to be more successful once they've invested in you. All right, moving on. Number 4 big mistake is trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. And what I mean by that is in how you deliver the sales page. So, for example, let's say you're trying to sell a video course. I would probably want to include some sort of video in the sales page, maybe actually showing a preview of one of the lessons or having a video sales letter at the top of that sales page. Versus if you're trying to sell a book, you probably want to focus more on written content, a bit more of a written sales letter. Point being is that just because you might find something that works for somebody else, if they're not selling the same thing that you're selling, the format in how they're selling it is probably not going to work for you. Every different medium, whether you're selling an ebook, a printable, a workbook, an done-for-you service, a course, whatever, they're going to have individual intricacies, subtleties that make that medium work better than others. If it's a $10,000 product, probably need a longer sales page than if it was a $10 product. Don't try to think that always just adding more is better. True story, we tried to launch a little, I think it was a $4 printable on a totally separate industry, just like a little experiment. And me being the overzealous marketer that I can be sometimes, I put my heart and soul into that little sales page trying to sell a $4 printable. And guess what happened? We didn't make a lot of sales. And I was like, what the heck's going on here? So I did one of the solutions we'll talk about. I ran a split test, and I just took out like 80% of the sales page and focused on what we talked about earlier, like focus on the features and the benefits. And I did a good match of what I was selling and how the page looked. And boom, it started to sell, and it continued to sell. So don't try to fit a round peg in a square hole. If you happen to like something that you see, the design of something, just make sure it fits for what you're trying to accomplish. Number 5 is over designing your content. So earlier, talking about the round peg and square hole, this is a little bit different. What I mean by when I say over designing your content is I see so many beginning marketers, it tends to be the beginners that do this, that have all these like rotating icons and zippy, zappy, zoopy stuff. There's multiple columns. There's design to the nth degree. Like it looks awesome when they're building it. And what the truth is, I would venture to guess your audience is mostly mobile. Our audience is well over 50% on their mobile devices when they're browsing our websites. I just checked the Google Analytics. And that's even a little bit skewed because we have a lot of courses, and people tend to take courses on bigger devices, but they're browsing and they're doing all the sales, like marketing stuff on mobile devices. So I would guess if we were to take the sales content out, we probably have 70 to 80% of our audience is on mobile devices. So why is that important here? Well, you don't want to have all this crazy design work where there's multiple columns, because guess what happens? When they're on mobile, everything just gets stacked. A lot of the visual elements kind of lose their visual nature. And so when you try to overdo it, you're going to spend a lot of time focused on the design that ultimately is probably not even going to be seen and consumed by your prospects the way you want it to, and is ultimately going to be a waste of your time and taking you away from the important stuff, which is that market and messaging match that you're trying to achieve on your sales page. So keep it simple, keep it clean, keep it clear, and able to be flowing through. And instead, use things like just focus colors, like as I'm kind of showing you here, of just by changing the color scheme as you're working through and maybe having some icons and things. I put this together in 30 seconds, so this is not an ideal example, but slight things you can do that don't look bad and are quick to create and quick to test. I highly prefer those. Number 6. Leaving questions unanswered. The worst part about having a sales page is you put all this work into it, but you are the creator. Like, you know everything, and you don't even know what questions people might have because you already know it. And so you're trying to speak to somebody who you don't really have that complete connection to because you've already solved the problems your sales page is trying to help them solve. So you have that curse of knowledge. What can you do about this? Well, have a frequently asked questions section in all of our sales pages. We make sure to have good frequently asked questions, because while you can scatter that information around the sales page, a lot of people are going to be skimming through your sales page. And so you want to make sure you have a very solid place where the most common questions get answered right there. Okay. But again, you don't know all the questions they're going to ask. Well, collect those questions. You can do that through having either a chat widget on your website, which we have on some of our sales pages, that it can either send an email to your team or it can ping you, or however you want to set it up. There's many ways of doing that. Or you can have simply, hey, questions, email here or call here. Whatever your chosen process is, it's very industry specific. And if it's like a 99-cent digital file, you might not want to let them have your phone number, but they're on your sales page. They would like to give you some money. And if they have a question that's looming, guess what? The friction of them getting their question solved is oftentimes higher than the pain they're experiencing. So they're not going to buy. So make it easy for them. Collect that feedback, make yourself available to them. And every time you have that question, where should that answer go? Into your frequently asked questions section, so it gets better and beefier over time. And number 7 is over tech. Again, pot calling the kettle black here. You don't need the fancy timers. You don't need all the pop-ups. You don't need all the so-and-so just bought 5 seconds ago. All those things are great. They have their place in the world. I love them. They're all my little techie children, and they're all unique in their own special benefits. But the point is, to sell, you need to have a good offer. You need to have a clean and clear and easy to follow sales page. You need to have a pretty simple way of flowing them through that process. And then you can implement and optimize and test and tweak to your heart's consent once what you already have is working. All right. So don't over tech it from the beginning. Start making sales and incrementally give yourself like an allotted budget of tech time that like once a week you can spend 1 hour a week trying to tweak something and whatever, but don't let it get away from what's important in growing your business. All right. So those are some of the problems. I've got 3 additional easy to implement solutions for you. Number 1 is to use a simple and reliable software like Thrivecart to build and sell your products. So Thrivecart is a software as a service. It's a one-time fee program where you pay one price. You get it for lifetime usage, unlimited products, unlimited courses. You can sell and deliver, do all that tech stuff, and it's reliable. It's not a plugin on your website that can break and screw things up, and no updates to WordPress are going to break your checkout cart. It's very nice. It's made our life much simpler once we moved all of our 100,000 students over to Thrivecart. And I do have some bonuses if you want to check it out and take a look and give it a try. I'm including some trainings and upstart guides and also some personal support if you want to check that out. The first link in the description should give you more information on our Thrivecart bonus offer. But point being is using a simple solution instead of always bouncing between different tech or trying to connect this tool to that tool to then zap over to this tool. No, you don't need that. And even as you start to scale, we have scaled our business to a point where we're quite happy with the level of sales we're at. And what are we doing? We're not adding more tech into it. We're actually removing tech from it to keep it simpler, help our team work it better, and just make our customers happier. So keep it simple. Number 2, if you're not profitable yet, don't blow it up. Use A/B testing to learn what works and what doesn't. Make small, measured, consistent changes over time. Use the data. If you're using a system like Thrivecart, you have all the data available at your fingertips where you can see how, like, this sales page converts at 5%. This sales page converts at 6%. Let me keep this one. Let me see what worked from A to B. Okay, now B is my new winner. It's the best one I've ever done. Let me try to make that a little bit better. Let me go from 6 to 7%. That's way less stressful. It's way more calm and peaceful, and it's how we like to work. And number 3 is, please, if you're not a natural born designer, don't try to become one. Go get a professional template pack. We actually have just launched a new template pack. There will be links down below as well for all of our templates, and they're completely done for you where you click on a button, you pull up the entire sales page, has all the sections. It even has tutorials on what to say when, how to position it, where should the FAQs go. All the buttons directly work and go right into it. Again, there's a link down in the description below that we have created this for our students because so often we see people that have great offers, they have great courses created, but when it comes time to sell and design and make it pretty and flow the copy, that's when things can just go and like just go to a stop. So whether you're selling an ebook or a workshop or a course or a printable or a subscription or services, there's a template in the pack for you. You just decide what you want, take a look at them, browse them, say, hey, this is the right one for me, pull it out, implement, change out your colors, your copy, and go live. It saves you like 1,000 hours. I think that's a scientifically delivered term there because it took me a long time to build them, and I hope you enjoy them. All right, links for everything I mentioned in this video are down below, and I just really appreciate you for watching this video. If you got some value out of these mistakes and solutions to them, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It really does help me out, and hit that like button to let me know if I'm doing a good job, and if I'm doing a bad job, leave a comment down below and tell me why I'm doing a bad job. I would love to make it better in the next video, which is coming out very, very shortly. So have a wonderful day. Take care.